But I think it's worth remembering that we are, of course, or have entered a new area or in the nature of technological change that is taking place within society. So previously, of course, the technological change was characterized, I think, as an extension and enhancement of external physical capacities. What we have seen now with the digital revolution for many years and decades is the tendency for the technological change to focus on the extension and enhancement of internal intellectual capacities. And in the case of the first, which reached its culmination with the Industrial Revolution, of course it was preceded by centuries really of the development of mechanization capacity. Here we have, I think, experience with the digital revolution of several decades, but we're quite unsure, I would say, as to the direction that this is going to take. For example, I think while it's generally believed to be possible, there is still some doubt as to whether general artificial intelligence can be developed. That is, an artificial intelligence beyond specific application, artificial intelligence, and which emulates, if you like, human intelligence to a much greater extent than specific artificial intelligence. But all the indications that we do have would suggest that at this stage this is going to be every bit as transformative as the Industrial Revolution, and that means that there will be huge implications for technology, for the economy, for society, for culture, for politics, and for the military. So every possible dimension of life. Now, let me turn to the question of governance, and it's of course a difficult term, and I would like to think of it in this context more in terms of risk management. That of course is a term that's not usually applied. We might look at it from the point of view of regulation, but I think that's far too narrow a perspective for governance in relation to such a broad and transformative phenomenon that we are seeing unfolding here. But of course, once you mention the word regulation, you immediately notice the recent, but it's not just recent, but the recent division between or the division that's become more acute in recent years, let me say, between two reflexes to governance, one and regulation, one the reflex of non-regulation and self-regulation, where it is leave it to technology and leave it to the market response to technology, and that reflex, that approach is needed in order to give science and technology the freedom to develop their full potential. The other regulatory reflex, of course, is that society has certain values, for example, privacy, and those values need to be protected and preserved as new technologies disrupt and change the functioning of the economy and society. So it's an old and recurrent policy choice and difference